Okay, good evening to you all. Today is our
Good
day
evening, sir.
10 of this 3-month data analytics. Like I said, this bootcamp is going to last for about 3 months, and today is the 10th. Like always, we start by listing all the outlines that we are going to cover for the day. So let me show our outlines or this outline. So these are what we are going to cover today. We'll have a recap on yesterday's class, that is day 9, followed by cell formatting. That's our new topic. We are going to talk about cell formatting. And we'll also talk about rank, mean, and max. That's what we are going to cover today. So a recap on our yesterday's class, if you can recall, yesterday we treated data types. We talk about data types. We talk about different data types related to statistical maybe analysis. Let me call it this way, related to the statistics, because that's what we treated. I've told you there are different data types that has to do with other programming languages, which they will call other data types, not the way you had their names yesterday. So we talk about the qualitative data, quantitative data. We talk about numerical, categorical. We discuss about nominal, ordinal. We talk about discrete,
Discrete,
continuous, and we
continuous data.
structured and unstructured scale data. All these are the types of data that we treated yesterday. And I hope each and every one of you have an understanding about them. You read them, you kind of reread them and understand what each and every one of them will means, because I told you to help a lot in many things that we are going to do in this bootcamp. And also it almost has everything to do with today's class, because today we are going to treat different data types that some of them we didn't even talk about them yesterday. We didn't even talk about them yesterday, but today we are going to talk about them since it has to do with cell formatting. We're going to talk about different data types today also, which we didn't even talk about them yesterday, because they have no issue at all. That why I didn't talk about them, because it will not even confuse you that well. But today we will talk about them, even though yesterday we didn't mention them. So let's start with the cell formatting, which is our today's topic, the first topic that we're going to treat today. So let's get started. Let me open my Excel. So can you all see this?
Yes, sir.
Can you all see my Excel interface?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this cell formatting, whenever you hear about cell formatting, it has to do with how to format your cell based on the data that that particular cell will contain. It's how to format your cell based on the data that that particular cell will contain. That's what this cell formatting is all about. Because as you can see a cell, like this cell, whatever you put inside this cell, it always has to do with what type of data you put inside it. So that way, for example, if I put 009, Excel will remove all the 30 and make it 9. Because by default, Excel is seeing numbers as numeric, always by default. But take note, I told you yesterday, you can see a number as a data analyst. Don't call that number a numerical number just because you saw it as number. Sometimes it's not a number, it's just a mere data. It's representing a categorical. We are having a background noise. I don't know who. Let me unmute some of you and see. Yeah, it's Sambu. So something is shaking. It's your maybe, I don't know. Okay, so that way Excel will do that for you. So whatever you put inside this cell, if it is this, whatever it is, Excel will treat it based on, because there are default data cell formatting that Excel will just give to the particular data that you put inside any cell. But you need to format your cells whenever you are going to enter data in Excel, so that you will not get default data, so that Excel will understand the type of data you are going to put in a particular cell. That's what we are going to discuss today. So the number one data that we're going to talk about is categorical data, that is qualitative data. When you are about to enter qualitative data, make sure you turn your cell, you change the cell format into text. How do you do that? Just click on the cell. You can highlight the entire cell that you want to apply. Okay, let me open one of my table. Yeah, of course. For example, here, I want to enter, it's going to carry text. That is the name of people like this. I will highlight all the 15 cells. Come under here, you will see general. Turn this format, just click on this general. It will drop down some things for you like this. Select text, so that whatever you are going to enter is categorical data. That's what that means. So now whatever I wrote here is categorical data. Let me add something here. Let me add, for example, let me say phone number. Take note, phone number and account number. You are the one that are seeing them as numerical. They are not numerical per se, by default. It's just a number, like identical number. That's why you see in Excel, if I put 07066309565, Excel will get rid of. It's because this cell, okay, let me do it like this. Sorry, it's because when I turn that cell, it takes, let me turn it to general, because this is how it is by default. So I'm going to, let me just delete it, because it takes the reference of what is here. So let me create it here. Let me call it phone number. So yeah, so an account number. Account number. Let me just write it like this. Okay. So now, by default, if you come to Excel and put 070663955, Excel will get rid of that first zero. Why? Because there is no way a numerical value will begin, according to Excel, will begin with 0. So it will get rid of, because 0 is nothing. So it get rid of 0 and start with 7. That's why, because Excel is seeing it as numerical value, while it's not numerical value. By default, it's just an identity. It's like categorical data, which the way it is, that's how it's supposed to remain. So that's why when you are about to enter anything that has to do with number, phone number, account number, ID number, all these type of numbers that you are going to, in as much as that particular number is an identity, is not numerical value that you can add up, you can sum it up, you can find the average of it. You can, because you cannot find the average of account number, you cannot find the average of phone number, you cannot sum phone number, you cannot sum account number. All these are one of the ways to show, to let you understand what categorical data is and what numerical is. I mean, it appears like number. So that's why I told you, maybe on that agenda you can be able to put 0. If you put 0, it will get it's supposed to just get away, because we zero this 0 that you saw can stand as something. Maybe, for example, this 0 can stand as, like I told you, male. Maybe 1 can stand as female, like this. So that way, whenever you are going to put anything that is categorical data, you need to change the format. You need to change the format into what? Into text. That shows you are about to enter categorical data. Just click here and turn it to text. So that way, whatever you put 0, maybe your account number is 000773, like this. So it will not go anywhere. That particular 0 will stand the way it is, because that 0 is not a number, it's a categorical data that you provided. Even in case of ID, when you create ID of people, don't make sure you turn it into text. For example, ID. So don't just put ID 001. It will get rid of all the zeros and left 1 there. So please take note on this, so that you know that a particular data is categorical data, so you change it to text, and that shows that you're about to put a categorical data. Please, do you understand this?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. So let's continue. Who is this Mubarak? Who is this Mubarak Mahdi? I don't know him, but he is joining. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry. So that number one way of doing this, because you are going to put a categorical data, so you change it to text. Please take note of this. That's number one. So the next thing we are going to do under the cell formatting, we have text. So you put it down, we have text, and that text has to do with all the categorical data. So put it qualitative and categorical data. That's what this text is all about. So we change the format to text. So the next thing is the numerical data. Whenever we are going to put a numerical data, and that data is only a numerical data, not a money, because not amount of money, please take note on this, because Excel differentiates between money and normal numerical data. So when we are going to put a numerical data, we can change it instead of text, we can change it to number. For example, let's say, for example, here I'm going to put the height, for example, then I can highlight the cells, come under here and select this number. And by default, take note, number always comes with what? Decimal places. That's how number are supposed to come by default. It comes with decimal places. And if you can recall, I show you how to remove the decimal places by default. Is either you click this to increase or you click this to decrease, because these are the two ways you see. So you can decrease it and you can increase it. So please take note of this. If you, whenever you want to put any numerical number, then you change it to this. And sometimes you are going to put a numerical data, but that numerical data is money. Okay, let's say salary, for example. So as for salary, you need to change it into currency. So highlight it and change it to currency. Click on here and click on currency. By default, if you change it to currency, it's going to have a default currency of dollars. Okay, sorry. Sorry, please. I changed my Excel to have Naira by default. I changed it to have Naira by default. I could have make it dollar, because yeah, let me make it the US dollar, so that that's what you are going to see. Sorry. So it's going to be a US in US dollar. It's going to be USD, whatever. But if you want to change it to Naira, just highlight the cells, all the formats, click here and click more number format. Please, are you following this? Just click on more number formats, click on currency. You see, click on currency and just click on this. You see this symbol? Just click on N twice. You will see NGN. That stands for the Naira. Just click on it. This is what you're supposed to see. Please take note. This is what you're supposed to see. That is NGN. So it stands for NGN. Don't mind about this NGN. You are not the one to put the NGN. By default, Excel will put it for you. So if I put down 2,000, it will put the, don't put comma. If I'm going to put 20,000 or 200,000, Excel will create the 200,000 for me. Okay, let me say this for you. Whenever you put a number or data that is, especially if it is a numerical value that is bigger than the cell that you are working with, the width of the cell is too small for the data, is going to put this hash for you. What you need to do is just to increase the width. So now you will see the entire listing, the entire number, the entire amount, or the entire data that is inside that particular cell. So take note of this. Sometimes you will see it like this. You see it turn to hash. If you increase it, then it will increase. You see 2 million. You are not going to put the comma and whatever. It's going to put everything for you. The comma, the sign and everything. Don't put anything. And if I want to remove the decimal place, all I need to is to decrease it like this. Then I will turn it to this. Then it's going to be like this. So take note, whenever you are putting a cell data that has to do with money, then you need to change the format to money. So the next thing is this accounting. Please, let's not talk about this accounting, because those that are working with accounting, the salary and the accounting is almost the same. So you don't even need to touch it. Don't touch it, please. For accounting, if you use that, you use that. The next format that we're going to talk about, date data types. This date, we didn't talk about date yesterday. We didn't talk about it, but take note. There are certain data that came that is date format. It's not numerical and it's not even kind of categorical. Is date. And take note. Sometimes, especially some data that come using CSV, that is comma separated value. Let me write it here. CSV. It stands for comma separated value. So this CSV, when data come in this comma separated value, this type of data, normally you will find the format of date to be somehow like numeric, but it's not numeric. Let me write it. Let me show it for you like this. Sometimes you will see something like 090822. You see this that you see, please. Sometimes you will think it's a number. It's not a number in some data, even if you have the data. That's why I say you need to you need to read the data. You need to read it. You need to understand it so that you will not go and do something that this is not a number. It will be a date. Sometimes it's a date. So it's because in Excel you didn't change the format to be a date. That's why you will have something like this. It's because you didn't change the format. You didn't check the, I'm sorry. So you didn't check the format to be a date. So that way you will see a number. But if you change the format to date, it will turn to date, not a the way you are seeing it as a number. So take note on that. So whenever you are going to put a number, all you need to, let's say, for example, we want to turn this to DOB, that is date of birth. So we are going to highlight this and change it. And this date, we have two. We have short date and long date. Let me show you all the difference between them. The short date will only show you the month, the date, the month, and the what, and the year. So to show you that, for example, it will say, for example, let's say this, like I just put 13/2, then it give me 13/2/2023. Take note, you start with date. You start with date followed by month, then you put the year. So, but you can change that. You can change that if you want. So this is what you see. But if you want to put, for example, 21/02/2022, so you change it to the. But if I just put, for example, 1/1, it will just give me 1/1/2023 because it will take the default date that I have on my laptop. That's what it will show for me. So this is the short date. So I can highlight it also to make it long date. You see, if I put long date, it will give the name of the date and the name of the month. You see, Monday, 21 February 2022, Sunday 1 2022. So this is how it is, and you can change it any date that you want to change the format to have either short date or long date. But like I said, sometimes you can change the format if you want, but sometimes I don't want you to touch this, because by touching this, sometimes you can destabilize most of the things and all that thing. But there is, let me show it to you. You can also come to this, when you highlight it, you can come here, just go to more number format, just under date. You will see this is how it is. This is how your short date is. So you can change it. You see, you can change whatever you want like this. You can change them and click OK to whatever you want. But I highly recommend don't mess this up. Just leave it the way it is, please. Don't touch it and leave it the way it is. So that's for date. So the next thing we are going to talk about is by default is percentage. We talk about percentage, and I show you how to change the format of decimal places to percentage. So I don't need to show that percentage to you again. You know how the percentage is. And for the fraction and scientific, don't mind that. For the time, don't mind the time, but sometimes you need to put the time. Yeah, so let's talk about the time. For example, time like this. So you can change the format, like I highlight it. You can put the time. Let's say time. You can put time like this. You see how the time turned into. So maybe I put 12, maybe 12:23 like this. So this is how the format of the time is. But you need to put it the way it is supposed to be. For example, like this 12 02. Then you see it give me 12:02:00, or maybe I will say 12:02:23. It will say 12:02:23 like this. This is how the format will go like that. So like there I can say 1 1, maybe 1, then automatically it will put 0 1 0 1 0 1 for me because I changed the format to take the format of time. So this is what we are going to talk about cell formatting. Please take note on this because it will help a lot in arranging your data, customizing the data, and understanding how to use most of your data. So as from today, you know how to put NGN sign and others. So let's move on because we have other things to do today. So the next thing in our outlines is rank. We're going to talk about rank. So this rank has to do with ranking. We all know what ranking is, which one to get number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4 in a particular range of data. That's what ranking is. So like, for example, let me just do something here. Let me just create this type of data. Let's create it. Let's leave it like this. It's enough. So what I'm going to do, for example, for rank, let's put the rank here. Let's change this to general. By default, it's general, so I'll turn it to general the way it is. So I'll delete everything like this. So what I'm going to do is, based on this data that I have, I'm going to get which one is rank the highest, which one rank the highest, and I want it to have, I want to see the highest, maybe, and the lowest. So to get the rank, you need to use the rank function. The rank function is always rank. You put rank like this. By default, now you are going to see rank average, rank EQ, that is the rank equalizer, and rank. Those that are using Microsoft 2007, you will see this rank. You will not see these two, average and EQ. Please just use this rank. Don't worry about it. It's almost the same. So I'm going to even use this rank. So don't worry about this. So what this rank is all about, okay, before it, let me explain the formula here for you. The rank formula is always the specific number. Let me just write a specific number out of, I'm just writing it like in English. I'm just writing it in English. Out of total range. Okay, let me see. Total range. That is specific number, total range, then order. Then you put order. And this order that I'm going to, let me explain the order for you. We have two order, ascending order and descending order. We have ascending and we have descending. This ascending order, it means the highest should be the what? The highest should be the highest. For example, what this means is for the ranking, whoever has the highest number, then the ranking should start from the highest. That is, someone with the highest score, maybe someone who scored 100 over 100, should be number 100 out of the 100 students in the class. But if we say descending, we mean that someone with the highest number should be what? In ranking, should get the lowest number in ranking. It will start with the descending order number. That's what this descending is, and ascending. So you should understand these two. So that's why, for example, if you are 20 in the class, someone who scored the highest mark, if it is in descending order, he's going to be number 1. If it is in ascending order, he's going to be number 20. So please understand these two. So we are going to treat them now in this formula. So let's just come and put the formula. So we're going to say equals to rank. I'm going to select the rank, open bracket, select the specific. This is specific, that is the 100. Then you put comma. Then reference, this reference that you are seeing is the range. That is the range. So you highlight the range. Take note, you need to lock the range. Please take note on this. You need to lock the range. So press your F4, then you have $sign in all the range. So you need to lock it, lock the range. Then you put comma, then it will ask you in descending order is 0, in ascending order is 1. Which one do we need? Ascending or descending? By default, which one do we need? We need it to be in what? In descending order, because we need the highest to be the lowest in ranking and the lowest to be the highest in ranking. So we're going to put 0, that is descending order, and we press enter. Then the 100 is what? Is number 10. If we drag it down, this is how it's going to look. 10, 1, 2, 3, 4 in this. Let me change this to 3 million. I'm just going to put 3 million like this. So this one will turn 39 million, will turn to number 1 by default, and this one will come to 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 like this. If I change this one to maybe 8 million, so it's going to be the what? Okay, I turn it to 80. So let me remove one. Let me remove one. So I turn it to enter is 2 because we have 8.6 million here, but this one is this. So this is how you get the ranking in everything, because we put it in descending order. That's why we are having this. Let me change it to ascending. Let's put 1 instead of 0. If we put 1 and press enter, that means the lowest will be the one, this thing like this. This is how it's going to be in ascending order. The one with the highest will be the highest in ranking. That way 39 million is the highest, and 39 million is number 10 because it's the highest in ranking. Please, do you understand this rank? Please, do you understand rank? Do you understand rank? Should I
come again.
I should come again.
Yes, sir.
Okay, for the rank, like I said, you are going to put equals to rank, then you put your open bracket, then you select a specific number. When you select number, you put comma, then you highlight the range that you want to find the rank based on the range. So you need to lock the range. That way you highlight it all. We learn how to lock a formula. We learn how to lock it because we are applying based on this particular specific out of all this range to get the rank of it. So you lock it. So when you lock it, that is by putting $sign, you put comma again, then you select descending or ascending. I told you in descending order, it will sort everything in descending. That means the highest will be the lowest in ranking. And if you put ascending, it means the highest will be the highest in ranking. So now we are going to put descending, and by default it's supposed to be descending. Then you press order. So this is the lowest, 100 is the lowest, so that why 100 is number 10. So this is how it's going to show us. But if I change someone to number 10, maybe this number 5, if I change it to 10, so it now is the lowest. So it's going to take number 10, and this one will going to take number 9 because there is someone that is the lowest than it. But if we turn it to ascending order, then it will be vice versa of what we have done. Please, do you understand this?
Okay, sir.
Okay, so let's talk about mean and max. So for the mean, is very simple. We are not going to even take much time to learn the minimum and maximum. For the mean is for you to get the minimum figure, that is minimum out of the range of the data. Because in this salary, I want to figure out who is collecting the minimum salary, or which salary is the minimum out of the range of the salary. All what I'm going to do is to put equals to min open bracket, then I will highlight this, then I will close my bracket. I will highlight the range of the data. So I will just close my bracket and press enter. It will give me the minimum. The minimum is 10 out of the range because this is the minimum. If I change the minimum to 5, it will change to 5 by default. If I change the minimum to even 2, it will change to 2. That way, if you were given a data of a state, a whole state, even if the civil servants are over 40,000 civil servants, by mere looking at the kind of the data of the entire civil servant in his state, within 1 second, you can know who is collecting the minimum salary. And the minimum salary, you will know which salary is the minimum. So this is what this minimum function means. It's very powerful, very, very powerful. You need to learn it, and it's very simple, and I know you can do it. And for the maximum will return the maximum number within the range. That is, I want to know which salary is the maximum salary out of the data. All I need to is to put equals to max, open bracket, that is equal to maximum. That's what the max stand for. Then I will highlight the range of the data. Just highlight the range of the data. You close your bracket, you press enter. It will give you the maximum. And the maximum is 39 million by default. You see, the maximum is 39 million. If I change the maximum to be 200 million, for example, so by default, we are going to have the 200 million. It will be like this. You see, this is it. This is our maximum. Please, do you understand this? And this is by default how to get the minimum and to get the maximum. So this is very powerful formulas. You need to understand them and you need to learn them, because don't worry, you will have your assignment and you know how our assignment is going to be. So please understand this, practice it, and try as much as you can to get data and work with the data. This is where we are going to stop for today. If you have any question, you can write it in the chat, or you can raise your hand and I will give you the flow. Someone is saying yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir. Please come again on mirror, and I will kind of on it. Okay, so there is no any question in the chat. If you have any question, you can raise your hand. Who is this, Ms. Bahu? Okay, you can ask your question.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, I saw someone, Mubarak Madi. Please, can he explain why he is here? But I didn't see him now. Because I know.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, I can hear you. Continue, please. Continue. Move.
Yes, sir. I want to ask about log formula.
Yeah,
You said
I
that
can.
you have to press. Yes, we have to press it FN, F4 or FL.
No,
But I
that was not
press
what
it
I said. That's not what I said. That's not what I said. Let
Okay.
me correct you first. That's not what I said.
Okay.
If you press F4, some keyboard are working.
Yes.
Their function keys are working. If you press the function key, automatically it will work. But if the function key is not working on your keyboard, that's
Okay.
the use of FN on the keyboard. That is, you hold
Yes.
it and then you press the function key. It's like that FN you are seeing is triggering the function key on keyboard. That's the
Okay.
purpose of that FN. So you hold the FN and you press F4. You hold the FN, then you press F4, then it will work. So that's what I
Okay.
said.
After I highlight. Okay. After I highlight the
Yes,
column.
yes. Now,
Oh, I have
you
formula
need to,
bar.
you just need to click in where you want to. You don't even sometimes need to highlight it. But if it is if
Okay.
it's the range of the data that you want, you need to just highlight and press, or you just click at the middle of it and press
Okay.
F4, it will work.
Thank
That's
you,
what
sir.
I said. Please, if you have something, sometimes you need to rewatch the video. If you rewatch the video, you will see how we did it or what I said about it. I think that one will help you a lot, so that you cannot wait since day one. We treated log formula, I think, oh, day what? So it will not confuse you. I think it's day 6. Sorry. Yeah. Okay, how do I set the maximum and minimum? Oh, it's automatic. I didn't get your question, Abakar SD. I didn't get your question. How do you set the maximum and minimum? You are the one to find the maximum and minimum. You are the one to find them. It's after I find them that if I click on I change something, it will just automatically, since I use the formula. So it will just be changing automatically. I think I didn't get the question. Oh, it's automatic. Max and min is a function already. And I talk about what is function, I think. So I didn't get the question clearly, seriously. That cell in currency,
Hello,
yeah,
sir.
it's numeric data. Yeah, continue. I can hear you, please. Continue. That cell in currency is numeric, but it's money. Please, it's numerical value. I told you Excel divided them. It's numeric and it's money. Please take note on this. It's numeric. Currency is numeric. It's numerical data type, but it's money. But that why we distinct them, we put sign in them. And the sign has no effect whatsoever on whatever you are doing. It's just to tell people that it's a money. Now I'm continue a solutive thinker.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much. Actually, the network,
Yeah,
my
I can
network was
see you
very
are
bad.
fluctuating. So I think what we should
Yeah.
do, because what you should do, I know with us, you can take us back or ask us to do something. What you should do is to rewatch the video, because I can see you
Okay, sir.
fluctuating.
No
So we
problem.
have said much. If you ask question, it can be something that we treat it seriously. So you can watch the video. It
No
will be
problem.
available very soon. Okay, Ibrahim Baba Muhammad, please, you can ask your question in 1 second. It's better to rewatch the clear. You will ask your question 1 second. I ask you to unmute. We only have some seconds to go. Yeah, just ask your question.
Hello.
Yeah, continue.
Okay, my question is when, for example, when we get a client give us a work, so is he going to ask us a question like you give us in the assignment questions?
You are not with us yesterday, right? Have you what we did yesterday? I told you the question I gave you yesterday.